Welcome to Gradeup. My name is Abhishek Singh, and I welcome you all in this really important and very significant session today. That is about the adoption of the three-child policy by China. So, hello Pavi, how are you? Good afternoon, and make sure that you share this session with your friends also. So, guys, it's a request to all of you, those who are joining here live with me, that they share this session with their friends on the various social media platforms wherever they are, so that they can also join this session going on live. All right. So I think all of you must have gone through this news that China has abolished its traditional policy of the single child in the favor of the two children policy, and recently it also scrapped the two children policy and replaced it with the three-child policy. What is that three-child policy? Why is that required? What is the demographic significance of this step of China? And what is the situation of India if we are comparing these two most populated countries of the world? All right. So let's start with the topic of today. Hello everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Abhishek Singh Rathore, and I am guiding the UPSC aspirants since 2017 about the various topics and subjects related to the general studies. And I have myself appeared in the interview of the UPSC in 2013 as well as the mains in 2014 and 2018. Also, I'd like to tell you that Gradeup has brought to you a great offer. In fact, we all know that World Environment Day that was celebrated on yesterday. So Gradeup has brought up a great offer on that occasion, that just use this code, right? Nature 45, and avail a 45% flat off on your Gradeup Super subscription. All right. बिल्कुल इस अपॉर्चुनिटी को जाने मत दीजिए, आज ही इसका फायदा उठाइए और आज ही जो है रजिस्टर कराइए और जुड़िए Gradeup के साथ through the Gradeup Super. Use this code, okay? Don't forget it, right? So let's come to the point, guys. What is the news? क्या है खबरों में? तो खबरों में तो ये है that China relaxed its two-child policy in the favor of the new three-child policy. So guys, we all know, we all might have been conventionally listening that China was the country which forcefully, strictly tried to control the family planning, tried to control the population. Hello Tanvi, good afternoon. Control the population forcefully by implementing the forced single child policy. Forced, I'm talking about the forced single child policy. Guys, you know what? There were provisions that if any couple had more than one child, so either that child was not entitled to receive the recognition in the official records, and if the child would not receive the recognition in the official records, so either that could be killed unnecessarily or that could be sent to any you can say secret experimental things, or the parents were denied to be given the government facilities, because we all know China in olden days it was the communist. Even today also it has the communist government, but comparatively it was more under the control of communist pattern of government earlier. So therefore the life of the Chinese people, it became miserable just to control the population. So China achieved its target of regulating its population. But guys, we all should understand that any policy, if it is implemented without the popular support, without looking for the future consequences in the long term, so that always has a disastrous results. Okay, always has a disastrous result, and this is the same thing which happened with China. So what is the condition today? What is the context of this news now? So guys, this decision in China, it was taken in the backdrop of the challenges posed by shrinking labor force and declining demographic structure. What is that? And why is that happening? So it's very natural. It's very natural. Suppose if there is a family and the family does not allow the newly married couple to reproduce more than once, okay, in their entire lifetime. So what will happen? We all have studied in our basic geography classes, in the human geography portion, that approximate 2.1 should be the fertility rate, right? Fertility rate which shall be required to replace the population. That means to maintain the constant population over the years. But China, single child policy, isn't it? So do you think that it will be sufficient in the long term to obtain this average 2.1 fertility rate? No. So that is why what happened that during 1980s, 1990s, or even the early 2000s, China was riding very high on the demographic dividend. However, in the last 10 to 15 years, China has started clearly witnessing the decline in its age group of the working population, and therefore decline is also visible in the demographic structure as well as demographic dividend. That means I am using a term repeatedly, demographic dividend. What is that? Basically, guys, the population, it is actually a burden for many nations when there is a lack of prosperity or when there is a lack of the skills among the population. However, if the population gets proper skill, then the same population which is a burden or which is a problem for the nation, that becomes the population benefit or the population dividend, demographic dividend. All right, so that is what is more important. So guys, China was reaping very nicely, very high on the demographic dividend. However, the current situation can hamper the Chinese ambition of becoming an economic and military superpower in the near future. Even today also, China is one of the largest, in fact, second largest in the terms of absolute production and absolute GDP, and in the terms of purchasing power parity, it's the largest. But still, we all know that the Chinese data and you can say the developmental numbers are all not 100% believable. Still, it is very close to become economic as well as military superpower. Very close. But this situation is creating trouble for China. So how is that Chinese demography right now? What exactly happened that resulted into the current situation? Let us have a look on that. Okay. So guys, currently the Chinese society is going through the 5th stage of decreasing population of the demographic transition. So we will observe very soon that what is the meaning of this so-called demographic transition. Okay, demographic transition. And also we'll see that why is China currently in the 5th stage? What is the 5th stage? All these things we will cover up. Okay, for the reference purpose, I can tell you this much, that the demographic transition is basically like there is a, just compare this with the life of an individual, that there is a stage of the childhood, the teenagers are there, working age group is there, which runs from the 15 to 65 or 15 to 70, you can, or 18 to 70. That is also another bracket of the working group. But this is most acceptable working group, 18 to 65. Okay. And after that 65 plus. That means the age group of the adults, or sorry, elders. Okay. So elderlies will be more in number when the health facilities or the developmental level or the quality of life or the human development, that will be on a better level. Then the population of the elderly people will be increasing naturally. Why? Because all the things, better health facility, better infrastructure, better life conditions, human development, all this will lead to the increasing, right, increasing life expectancy, increasing life expectancy. And then the population of the aged people will be high. However, along with this, if the implementation of the family planning or the birth control program, if that is happening, so the number of the new offsprings or the new people taking birth, that will be reduced, isn't it? So we will be having, in the next generation, we will be having less number of the young people but more number of the old people. Suppose somebody is 60 years of age, so he will become 80 years of age in the next 20 years. But somebody who was 15 years of age and he became of 35 years, but still they have no children. Okay, so what is the addition in the new age bracket? Nothing. And what is the addition in the old age bracket? 1. What is the addition in the adult or the, you can say, mature working age group? 1. So that means what? The future is becoming old. Future is becoming old. All right. So very soon we will have such a condition where maximum people of our population will be having the higher ages and working, and the upcoming workforce, that will be less. Same is there happening with China. The upcoming workforces in China, they have reduced to the great level because fertility rate of China dropped to 1.3, and China is not even able to maintain its replacement of the population. So its population is going to decline, especially the young people, their population is going to decline because they will not be born. Okay, they won't be even born. Got it? So this concept of the demographic transition from the newborns to the teenagers to the working group to the retired, this transition concept was given by the Warren Thompson in 1929, and it represents the different stages of the population cycle of a nation. All right, so this is what I was talking about. Hello Mahendra, how are you? Okay, so guys, you are seeing just only 4 students, so you can share this session with your friends also. Keep sharing it and make sure that you bring more and more people. All right, because this is something which is very crucial. All right, anyways, so this is here the graph of demographic transition. All right, so you can see this one. First of all, look at this. There are how many stages? 5 stages are there: high stationary, early expanding, late expanding, low stationary, and declining. And it depends upon the birth and death rates per 1,000 people per year. Okay, per 1,000 people per year. Now total population is this one. Okay, and this is the death rate. The dark black line is the death rate, and the blue line on the top of it, that is the birth rate. So guys, you can see here that in the first stage, where the birth rate is very high and death rate is very high, around, you can see birth rate and death rate both are very high. So population will be highly stationary. Can you tell me some examples? Let me tell you some example. For example, India in the 18th and 19th century, or India during most of the medieval centuries, or any country during the medieval centuries, they were in the example of the high stationary. That is, population was increasing, sorry, the number of the new births were very high, but the death rate was also very high. So population, it remained almost constant, high stationary. Okay, high stationary. And after that, you can check that as well, that in the second phase, early expanding. What is that early expanding? Guys, look at this. Birth rate remains high. Birth rate remains high, but the death rate, that reduces very rapidly. Okay. So what happened? Due to this process of reducing death rate but constantly high birth rate, the population expands. Okay, population expands. So in this case, we will have the early expanding stage. Example, Egypt, Kenya, India, right? These countries. Population is very rapidly increasing into these countries. Now talking about the third, late expanding. That means population is still increasing, but not at that pace, not at that speed. Okay, why? Because death rate is still reducing and reducing to the low level. However, guys, the birth control programs and the family planning, right, initiatives, those, they will start showing the result, and the birth rate is also going to reduce. It is also going to reduce. So slowly what will happen? The difference between the birth rate and the death rate, that will be reducing, right? That will be reducing, and due to the reduction in the birth rate and death rate gap, the population will be, it will be again starting to become almost constant. You can check the slope up to this line. It is very less as compared to this, right? You can check this. All right. So here, what can I say? That in this phase, population is increasing, but not very rapidly. Example, Brazil. Then the fourth stage is there, like USA, Japan, France, UK, these countries, right? Where the birth rate is also low and death rate is also low. So that will result into the stable population. No increase or slight increase or slight reduction is also there. However, in the next case, that is the fifth stage, where the China is about to enter, where Germany is already there, even the Japan is almost in the fifth stage, even the countries like the Scandinavian nations, such as the Norway, such as the Sweden, such as the Finland, etc. Those countries are in the fifth stage, where the population starts reducing. And why so? Because, guys, birth rate, it is required 2.1. Fertility rate is required 2.1 to keep this line constant. Keep this line constant. However, it is below 2.1, so the increase, okay, it will be converted into the natural decrease of the population, because you cannot increase the death rate, isn't it? Can you increase the death rate so that you can control, you can increase your population? No, because death rate is going to remain very constant and very less because of the high level of development, high standard of medical facilities, great infrastructure, great social and cultural standards. So that is why death rate is going to remain stagnant, very low. But due to that, birth rate will also be less because of these efforts done here, and population will start reducing into the next stage. Okay, so this is the current scenario. What about India? So guys, I hope that all of you understood this. Everyone, did you understand this one, this graph? Okay, okay, just listening to English. Okay, now what happened that in context of India, if you are seeing that, okay, what will happen that India is currently in which stage? We just saw that. India was in the stage of the rapid growth of population, right? Rapid growth of population here. And therefore, we do not need to worry at this moment of time, but definitely in the future, we will have to worry about the reducing population dividend or reducing demographic dividend. Why? Currently, because India has no policy guiding the specific number of children. But in India, we are like free. Some people are producing, for example, 4 children, 5 children. Some people are giving birth to 1. Okay. So there is no such strict policy regarding the specific number of children. But in the recent COVID-19 pandemic, we have realized that population can be a big factor, can be a huge factor to affect our overall healthcare, okay, healthcare and general infrastructure, okay, general health and life infrastructure. Basically, like if India would have the population equal to America, can you imagine that India would have been in much better position than America? However, since we are dealing with the humongous population, beyond your imagination, the population is, I think, because as per the records also, it will be around 140 crores or something. But still we are able to cope up with this type of situation right now. It means that we need some sort of policy, some sort of framework on the population control very urgently, very rapid. Okay, so that is why nowadays I think you all must be if you are all serious candidates, so you all must be listening to the debates etc which are going on regarding the population control bill. So what is your opinion, students? Do you think that population control bill that should be brought to the legislative house? Should that be brought to the legislature house, or like people should be given the full freedom that whatever they want to do, how many children they want to have, it should be their decision? What is your opinion on that? Actually, guys, this is a very tricky situation, very risky situation as well, as because there are certain ethical principles also, and you all are going to become the IAS officers, or at least you are dreaming to become IAS officers. So guys, you all must be aware that what is the significance of ethics. And if we talk about the ethical values, ethical principles, so guys, human beings cannot be treated like animals. They cannot be forced to plan their family and restrict it just to 1 child or just to 2 child. Actually, this should come from the within. So therefore, government is adopting the lenient principle, where government is going to spread awareness about these things. Okay, that how can the population growth, it can hamper the India's future prospectus. How can excessive population be the burden on your economic conditions? All these things are being done. So what is the scenario of India right now? It is something like this. Look at this. India, currently we are somewhere here. Somewhere here we are. Okay. So India is currently on this level. Okay. Currently on this level. That means you can see here approximately 600 million population is there for the age group of 25 to 64. And it is increasing in the exponential manner. It is going to increase at least up to 2040 or 2045. Okay, at least up to 2045. Okay, so we can expect that up to 2045 we will be having the increasing population of the working age group between 25 to 64. Okay, however, you can also see that this is the problem in going to be the problem in future. Why? Because look at this. Up to 2010 or 12, it is expected to be very high. But after that, the population of the both age groups, children as well as the adolescents and the young, adolescents and the youth, that is going to reduce to a low level after the year say 2025, 2023, 2030. Okay, it's started to reduce. So if this population, that is the population of working classes and population of the children and youth, both are going to reduce, so what will happen? The population of the aged people, old people, 65 plus, that is going to increase. So guys, we are also going to see the growth of the population of 65 plus years of age starting from around 2025 maybe, or we have already started seeing that. And guys, these projections are actually taken from the United Nations population prospectus. So we can have 100% faith, 100% trust on these data. All right. So India obviously needs some long-term policy, but maybe 20 years program as of now, or maybe after 20 years it will need another 20 years program. So that is going to be the case. Comparing with the other large population decline expecting countries, so China and India are expecting the population decline in the upcoming few years after 2045 or after 2050. Okay, India is going to see the reduction in population after 2050, and China, it is already started seeing reduction. Okay, however, let me tell you that these graphs are projected on the basis of current data, right? On the basis of current data. So if the policy is reformed, so what will happen? This graph may be like it's coming upward as well. It is possible. It is possible. Okay. So which are these countries? You can see China, India, Nigeria, US, Indonesia, all these nations. Okay, all these. So let us see some sample questions which can be asked from this particular chapter or this particular topic in the exam. So suppose there is a question that consider the following statements. Okay, statement number 1 says that as per the UN population prospect, the both India and China, both India and China are expected to see a rise in 65 plus age group, okay, in the population of 65 plus, okay, population of 65 plus age group. Second statement says that India currently has maximum number of people above the age of 65 years after China. All right, so you have to tell that which of these statements are incorrect. Which of these statements are incorrect? Like you have got 4 options, only one, only 2, both are incorrect, and none of these should be called incorrect. So guys, what is your answer for this question? Anyone? Srijan and Tanvi and Srijan, actually, so I had asked you a question about the opinion on the population control bill. So you guys have replied, that's a good one. So Srijan had said that population control should be there, but what should be the punishment? Punishment should not be given there, dear. Punishment should not be provided for having the more population, because one thing can be done, that they should be given some sort of social responsibility, that suppose if they have the additional resources to manage the population in their house, so they should be given the additional responsibility of suppose managing any orphan, right? This type of social legislation will be helpful. All right, should be helpful. And guys, which is incorrect? You have to tell the which is incorrect. Tell me, guys. So exactly. So some of you I think have replied that too as well. So guys, it is going to be right that none of them should be called as the incorrect. All right, because all of them are correct. Both of them, right? So this is the style of question that is asked in the examination. So I hope that this was a helpful and learning lecture experience for you. So guys, if you are happy with that, so make sure that you give a great like and share this session with your friends also. You can post it on your other social media platforms as well, so that maximum people can watch it and they can also appreciate. Okay? Or if you have any feedback, any negative issues or anything that is problematic related to this, so you can definitely tell that in the comment box. All right? Your opinions are most welcome, and also sharing is most welcome from your side. So guys, those who are preparing for the UPSC examination, so you can join us the Gradeup IAS platform. Here we are providing you various types of courses with the detailed facilities and all. You can simply select your plan by going on the website directly. If you have any coupon code, apply that, make the payment, and you are most welcome to learn with us. What benefits are you going to get? So guys, you are going to get a lot of benefits, especially the access to all the running and upcoming courses. All right, so don't delay it further. अगर आपने डिसाइड कर लिया है कि प्रिपरेशन बेहतरीन करनी है, सिलेक्शन ले करके रहना है, सो दिस इज द राइट टाइम जब आपको प्रिपरेशन की शुरुआत कर देनी चाहिए. Call on this number and book your counseling right now. So these are the faculty members. All have appeared in the UPSC interview or the state PSC interviews, or they have multiple years of teaching experiences, right? I will be teaching you the subject of history at Gradeup. Also, I will be taking you certain classes related to the current affairs or related to the science and technology. All right. So guys, you can also join us on the Telegram group as well. आप हमारे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप पर भी जुड़ सकते हैं. इस लिंक को फॉलो करें. टेलीग्राम में सर्च कर सकते हैं ग्रेडअप आईएएस प्रिपरेशन और यहाँ पर आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं. And guys, once again, it's a big request to you that please give a great thumbs up and share that with your friends. And also don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Gradeup IAS and hit the bell icon to get the latest notification. All the best to all of you and keep preparing well guys, because sahi prep hai to life set. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Jai.